Hey guys, welcome back to another bookish video, and we are once again talking about, let me get it, the Rise of Kyoshi. Now, this is going to be a full-on spoiler review, and I'm going to correct myself from the last video, so this is not going to be the same as my other review for this. This is going to contain pure spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, please go and watch the other video. But I have to correct myself on a few things, and I'm going to talk about spoilers in this one because it's a big tie-in as to why I had my thoughts about these books that I had. So I really can't talk about my opinions of this book without spoiling some major stuff. So once again, if you don't want those spoilers, see you later on a different video. But this is not the book for you, or not the video for you until you've read this book. Now, let me be honest. It took me forever to read this book, not because I kept getting pulled away from it, but because for whatever reason, I just could not sit still and read this. I would want to read it, and then I'd be like, my brain would not shut up, and I'd be thinking about completely different things, and it just pulled me out of the story. So, my first issue with this book was definitely the out of nowhere relationship, the lover's relationship. It was not earned, it was not hinted at, it was not established in any way. They went completely from friends to lovers with one kiss, and I hate when people do that. I hate insta-love because it's unrealistic and kind of creepy if you think you're 100% totally in love with someone having seen them once. That's not okay. That's how stalking happens. 2, if you want a relationship between characters, you have to make it feel earned. Once again, like Avatar: The Last Airbender was. You could feel from episode 1 that Aang and Katara liked each other as more than just friends. So that was earned when they finally decided to give in to their feelings of love and have their first kiss. And there was no sex scene hinted at. There was no full-on tongue down throats make-out session. It was just a sweet, we can finally show our love kiss, and I really liked that. But this, it just goes straight from them being friends to all of a sudden making out tongue down each other's throats, and then a sex scene is hinted at. Like what? That literally came out of nowhere. So that was my first big issue with this book. My second big issue is where the main spoiler comes in, and that's the climactic climax. Now, finally, Kyoshi is going head-to-head with the big bad, the whole reason this story journey started, Jahanzu. And if I'm pronouncing that right, wrong, I apologize. I'm not good with names, but I think it's Jahanzu. But she's finally locked in this battle with Jahanzu, and they're going head-to-head earthbender style, which Kyoshi could have used more than just earthbending because, hello, she's the Avatar. And she never used her other Avatar abilities. So, what was the point in teaching her Avatar bending? Bending all the elements. She didn't use it in the climactic battle. So, they're in a cafe, right? And she's finally going head-to-head with the big bad of the book. The one that killed her friend, the one that killed her father figure. Just, he's evil. He's so evil that they literally call him the grave digger. He buried 1,000 people alive, and the scary thing is he made them dig their own graves. He literally said the one that can dig a hole 6 feet deep will be the one that survives. No, he buried them alive after they dug it. So yeah, he's a scary man, and even the bandits are afraid of him because of that feat. So he's cold-blooded and ruthless, and will kill anyone he thinks he has to stay on top. So they're finally locked in this head-to-head. They're in the middle of a busy, like, cafe, and just completely going at it. And it starts out just talking. Kyoshi's friend that died had given her a bullet, which was just a really small, like, rock, or maybe it was an actual bullet, I don't know, even though they didn't have bullets back then. But they're sitting there, and all of a sudden he's like, I could bring the roof down on this entire place and kill not just us, but everyone in it, if you don't comply with what I say. So she's understandably, like, on edge, and, like, everyone in the cafe is, like, picking up that there's something wrong going on, but they don't know if they should leave or not. So it starts out, he tries to bend the entire building down on everyone's head, but Kyoshi, using her newfound control over earthbending, tries to stop him. So it's like there's this invisible force coming from both sides. One trying to keep the building standing, the other trying to completely bring it down. And they're just locked. They're locked. They can't move because they're straining not only against the weight of the building, but against each other's power. So they're absolutely 100% trapped in this bending. And then out of nowhere, here comes the friend that was the first one killed by Johanzu. He just picks up the little bullet of earth, puts it in his hand, puts one hand on his chest and one hand on Johanzu's back, and just puts the bullet right through his chest. And I'm like, why? 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 He was dead this entire book. We watched him get eaten. And then you're going to backpedal on that, not only the last freaking second of the book, but you're going to make your whole entire journey pointless. Because A, Yu's death is the entire reason that she not only realized what a monster Johanzu was, but the entire reason she fled, the entire reason she went on this avatar journey to begin with. His death was the entire motivational factor for her story. And then you're going to backpedal on the fact that he was dead in the last second, and then not only have him be alive, which made the whole reason she left completely pointless, but you're going to have him beat the bad guy? Really? Not only did she not use her other avatar abilities, but she wasn't even the one that killed the bad guy. Are you kidding me? You might as well have just made the whole story about you. Why? Why? That was such an anticlimactic flip of a story. It was not a twist. It was the author saying, okay, we actually want this character to come back because people cared about him. Why? I was so upset because Avatar: The Last Airbender not only stopped both of its stories really well, but it connected everything together. This was just like, screw it, we're going to have him back, we're going to have him beat the bad guy. Why? Shut up. I hate telemarketers. If you can hear my phone in the background. That's all I get on that phone is telemarketer calls. I don't know why I keep it on. But, just, why? Why do that? You literally made your whole story pointless. You made your main character pointless. They didn't even use what they were taught. I just turned Irish there for a second. They didn't even use what they were taught. What are you doing? What are you doing? You made your whole story pointless in the last few pages. I was so excited when I saw this book on the bookshelf, and now I'm just disappointed. Like, you literally backpedaled on everything that you made. She didn't use her avatar powers, so there was no point teaching her. The only thing she used was earthbending, and then because she was locked in this locked situation where if she would have moved, Johanzu would have won, a character that's been dead and we watched him die, and like a few chapters in, all of a sudden is back alive and is the one to kill the bad guy. So not only did she not use what she was taught, but she didn't even bring down the big bad that she was aiming to bring back, or bring down at all. So why did we need Kyoshi? Why? I'm so pissed. I'm disappointed in this story. So I just wanted to clear that up. I was trying to give a non-spoiler review, so I had to be a little a little tied up on my opinions before, but now that I decided to do this one because it's been bugging me, I figured I would go into why I really did not enjoy this book. I mean, it was really good up until the ending, and the ending just completely retconned everything and ticked me off. And I didn't want to spoil that for everyone, so my opinions up until that point were completely honest. But now that I've done that video, I can do this video and give my full opinion and my full review. Because if y'all are here with a full spoiler review, that is not my fault. You made the conscious decision to stay on this video. So, disappointing, 100%. This was not as well written as Avatar: The Last Airbender. The stories were completely retconned. The love story came out of nowhere. A character that I felt their death, like it hurt, was all of a sudden back, and that made it pointless, which ticked me off too. But just, it was so good, except for the love story, because it was not earned. And then you ruined it on the last few pages. Completely ruined it on the last few pages. But I'm severely hoping that I did not waste my money on both of these books, because I do have the second one. So I'm really hoping that this ends a lot better than this, because if not, I think both of these books might hit the donation pile, because disappointing, severely disappointing. I'm so upset. But like I said, I'm going into this probably right after this video ends, because it is Christmas and I have 3 Christmas books to read for the month. So I apologize if my first review was not really well done, but I was trying to give my best opinions on stuff that wasn't going to be spoilers, and that was my good review. This is my not so good review of the book. So hope to see you next time. Sorry this is kind of the same video, but you know, I was trying to give a spoiler-free review, so I gave my honest opinions on most of the book. It was just the ending that I felt I should have done a separate review on. So, hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.